Hello, everyone. This is GFP. It is 5:55 Saturday night, January 2nd, 2021. And I've been offline for a while for a lot of reasons, for YouTube strikes and being censored and everything else. And but I've got a doozy for you, and we're gonna start with featuring a channel, OGIBYA27. And I've already shown some of his previous work of his, and I really hope that you would watch these videos. And it's pretty stunning what this guy captures, and or it could be a girl. I'm not sure. Apologize, don't know the gender here, but appreciate your work. I'm sure you could tell me. So what I'd like to show you is a sun halo, and I believe these appeared in the United States in 2017, and I believe that they are solar eclipses that NASA's hiding. Let me show you. Kind of have to show you what I mean by that. Okay, so here is our typical sun halo we've been getting now, high in the sky in the noon. Okay, and here is a picture of my explanation of what we're seeing. The round discs you see here would be the eclipsing planet behind the sun simulator. Behind the planet, or behind the sun simulator, is the real sun. I mean, and I give plenty of examples of why the diameter of this changes because it's such a small object in front. And also what we're not seeing here is a lens in front of the sun simulator, a series of lenses. And also help hiding the planets are a set of lenses. We're going to call this something similar to the Rochester cloaking device, where we see, like in this video, we see a series of lenses in parallel here, and between the two sets of lenses we have a cloaking region, and then another four set here. I believe what we actually have behind the closest to the sun, I believe, are also in an orbit around the sun, probably just above the sun simulator, tracking with these planets all the time. So, most of the time. So, with that being said, let's watch a planetary shadow pass in front of a sun halo. Now, most people miss this because this happens over the course. I would say, let's and hold on to your hats, because what I'm going to show you is going to blow your mind. This one here was captured during this halo. We actually captured a distortion of light around the halo, and we're see it right here. I'm going to pause that. This is time lapse, and we pose this perfectly still camera and this bizarre distortion. Folks, I've got so many videos of this and so many examples of this thing lighting up, and this here too. Okay, these are lenses and mirrors in space, and the other distortion too, probably from the craft also. That I think is snow or rain or something. Not sure what that is. Okay, next we're going to show you the time-lapse video that this YouTuber had made. And so I'm going to show you the region of interest to look here, that during this event, right around this halo here, you're going to see what appears to be like a corona around this halo. And as this object approaches, we're going to see this object here that I circled. Let me start a fresh camera. Well, I'm going to scroll forward, and it's very faint, and I really hesitate to make videos of something that's very subtle. You know, you guys, I have to just really have that wow pop effect and hang in there, because it's not so subtle anymore. And a video I caught, this isn't even time lapse. This one is time lapse. I'm showing this as an example. If you could see this circular object here that I'd circled, and as we scroll forward, we're going to watch it take out the corona, or what some would even look like sundogs in some instances, approaches through the core of the sun simulator and almost causes like a little distortion here, even in the center And then as it passes through this halo, which is a lens, outside the lens is what looks like a corona, which I believe is coming from the actual light of the true sun. The center light is coming through. And we also have multiple objects, actually. And some of you might be seeing this, some may not, depending on what you're looking at. So, especially towards the end of this time lapse, I really wish we can love to catch this from beginning to end. And that's almost what I got right here in Sacramento with my own two eyes. So I want you to see, some people see this rainbow looking thing, right? And it sometimes gets really bright, and we've seen these. Now I want you to look here. I'm going to highlight this object again. Here's it right here. This dark mass that's being cloaked. Watch it pass through here. And just at the edge of the planet, it starts to basically eclipse the actual sun, and it appears to be the corona. Because we can't really make out the corona from the naked eye, but because we have a sun simulator lens in front of it, the lens is what the darkness is actually looking at. Anyways, let's watch this. Here's the corona. Here's the leading object, and we pass through. Watch how this thing, you can see it start eclipsing. The coronal effect has now stopped. You just see a dark lens now passing through the core of the sun simulator halo or the lens. And now we see the sun actually getting distorted from the lens that's passing in front of it. And then as it passes through, we could see the coronal edge here. It's not a real corona. It looks like one, though. That's what I'm saying. And then we see this thing pass through. Again, you will not be disappointed. And it's pretty passing through the edge here. At this point, the planet is halfway through the edge of this. So if I was to draw this out, it actually looked like right about here. So we see, sorry, not a perfect circle here. And here we see the edge of the corona stopping and starting right there. There is our hidden planet right there, hidden in plain sight, right? As it passes through. Okay. Now, you ready for this, folks? Haha. Okay. So let me pull up this folder here. And, oh boy. All right, here we go. And I got a couple of doozies for you. So I've got this one here. I'm just running this straight. This is captured on an iPhone 11 Max. Okay. The weather was actually at the time declared to be mostly sunny. And yet it was cold. It was getting dark. I want you to notice the size of the sun. It's going to change in diameter rapidly in the next 45 minutes. The ambient light is going to get, that's kind of pan to the ground. It's hard. I almost like I need two cameras. I want one running time lapse and one to capture everything else. And this thing is so big, my camera wasn't even a widescreen big enough to see it. And most people, over the course of this 45-minute video, this one, watch what happens with this. So I had to edit. This thing is so huge. Okay, so here we have the sun. You can see the early part of a halo right here. In fact, let me so I can for editing purposes and so you can see this better. All right. So the halo hadn't formed yet, and then it suddenly forms. And the halo gets more obvious when you see the corona around the dark lens. The focus light of the sun simulator is the very center of this thing. What I find so much interesting during this time, 45 minutes. During this time, I'm going to let it play through. I want you to see the edge that I know that there's artificial clouds being made, but this here I don't think is even artificial. When I scroll forward here, I want you to see, look at these clouds radiating straight out from the edge of this giant disc. this dark disk, and this line here is just getting darker and fatter each time we see these. And look how the clouds are radiating straight 90 degrees from the edge of the, well, almost. And it happened so quick. I don't even know if some ship could do this, man. That just is so unnatural. Okay. Now I'm zoomed in on the sun here, and you can see it's even distorted. You can see this is played in real time, no time lapse. 4K for you. Now, let's go forward in time about 20 and watch what happens. I wish I would have had. Then that's when this sundog appears over here. And there are some people out there, YouTubers, that don't believe in the sun simulator and say that our sun is being eclipsed. And if it is, what is this light coming from? Please, there are some people and have YouTube channels that think that light is coming from the refracted light from around the eclipsing planet and refocusing it just like the sun itself. But if that were true, then why don't we see this during just a normal solar eclipse? Why don't the sun's light just bounce around and give us an artificial focus light like that? It's the only explanation. There's an artificial light at this time. It got dim, it got cold, the temperature dropped, and literally 2 hours later, it was clear blue skies. Folks, it felt like the storm was just passing through. Here we see the edge of this light coming that looks like a coronal light. And I'm just going to kind of play it through a little bit and kind of fast forward because nobody wants to sit there and watch something for 45 minutes because it's that if you had the time to sit there and watch it, you would see this eclipse. So I just had to play it. And for the sake of 45 minutes of standing here slowly watching this thing eclipse, let me fast forward it for you. Here it comes. Are you ready? It's huge. It came in so wide that not even my wide angle lens could even capture the whole thing. And watch what happens. And here's the leading edge of this dark shadow. Watch it come down and basically erase the coronal from the sun. When the edge of this eclipsing shadow approaches the sun simulator light, look how it shrinks to almost zero. It gets very dim, very cold, passes through. Remember, there are lenses too. And look at these circular I mean, how many circles can you see in this thing, right? If you're missing out, we have one here. We have the halo here that just, and now we keep going forward. And it was, look at the sun as it shaped. Here, this little green light. There is your lens flare, folks. That is the camera refraction. Wow. I really have to have two cameras to capture this because one, to have it nice and steady, and it's frustrating because when you hold it, if you don't hold it perfectly steady, going back and forth makes it very hard to scroll forward 45 minutes with a tiny movement of the mouse, right? And then point at the same time. Again, I keep moving this lens flare around. I was actually talking in this video. I want you to show another thing. Just look how big the sun suddenly grew in a very short time. It's going to let it play through. It's all its glory. A distorted sun. And let's play. Actually, I'm going to speed this up a little bit. And watch how much this thing grows. Not zooming in, not doing anything. I'm just letting this thing roll. Wow. Now I'm zooming in. See, that's zooming in. And look how round it is. It's big. The skies are warming up again. The ambient light is now, look at the ground light that we see that's taken in from the camera. When we pan this down, we'll see, I don't, just how, and now it's actually hot and burning my face all in a short span of 45 minutes. And right where you see my lens flare here, that is the edge of the fading halo now. Why was it there? Why does it disappear? Folks, there are lenses out there. And yeah, that I just found pretty. When I, when I saw this, let's go back to the beginning here. This I knew when I saw that, folks. When I saw this and I saw that this is heading in this direction, that's when I got my phone out. I said, all right, I need to catch, just sit here with your phone and watch this sun transition through this object. And where have we seen that object before? The sky looks all strange with these clouds that are coming off like electric, actually. That is just weird, isn't it? And I know this is happening everywhere. There's what we call a sundog, but it's the edge of two converging lenses. We have a lens here and we got a lens here. Let's see if we can find. It was a much larger scale. Let's see something else that I caught that I thought was actually quite chilling. It's a little bit subtle, but it was really amazing at the same time. So we go to a website where we first captured this, which is now has been deleted. The frames, the entire month has been deleted. This was captured in Germany on Halloween, October 2018. This is the red Kachina. This was probably one of the greatest catches that I have captured from a camera. Look at that. It's been 2 years traveling here, and just want to show you what I think. Because it's so large in our sky, we really wouldn't see it. Yeah, there it is, folks. Live. Deleted from the cameras. I've seen this on other YouTuber channels. That was pointed out to me. We've seen the shadow once before over the South Pole. And we see it just come down, eclipse. The sun is behind this thing, and it just came down like this. And now that was in the South Pole, and now it was in Sacramento. And people are just missing out on it. And now, let's see if I can find where we're at today from this web camera. Oh, this will just, when you finally see it with your eyes, it's hard to believe it is what you're looking at, man. It's like out of a sci-fi movie. And I really hesitate to even make any videos anymore because what I'm seeing is so outrageous sometimes. And if it's not more pow in your face, extremely obvious. Whew. This is December 23rd from the same camera, just 2 years later. And I've got more proof of this thing too. It happened multiple times. In fact, Skywatch Media News had captured it. And this is a gas giant. Here we see it approaching. This thing is actually passing from right to left. That's how these things were passing in front of us. That's how I saw it then. Going forward in time, here, watch it come fully into view, and there it is. Let me see if I could zoom this in even more. Actually, so I can zoom here. I just want you guys to soak that in real good. Let me get my art program out, and in case you're not seeing it, it's literally right here, folks. This is not Photoshop. This is a camera that I don't know how to hack into it. I don't know the password to get into the router and start tapping into these cameras and doing it editing. You can actually go there yourself. Here it is, December 23rd, 7:40 a.m. That's funny too, because the last time it came in, it was on October 13th at 6:50 a.m. That's when it just really poked through. And now it's so big, it's almost easier to hide it. But it's the redness that's kind of hard to catch. Let's look at this next one. It's very, very compelling. And this was sent to me by a YouTuber who captured it on a camera. All I did was enlarge it. Now, please, I want, if you know that lens flares cannot rotate, right? And I don't even like making this type of video, but because it just blew me away by the detail of this particular one, it's the most detailed one I've ever seen. And you know the YouTube channels I'm talking about. You could see craters or gas. Uh, Actually, I don't think they're craters. I actually think they're like sunspots because it's red giant. And it's red because of the color that the lenses bleed through. That's why we get the sun simulator red lens petal effect. It's a long light. It goes straight. It's harder to bend. Not saying that's actually a planet. It's more of a lens flare of a rotating planet. The lens that I've been talking about, and that's why it's more red. It's also red because it's a red giant, but it bleeds through. Look at that. You can see it clearly rotate. How can you remanufacture that? This camera doesn't move either, by the way. All right, enough of that. I thought that was pretty wild, right? And then here, Skywatch Media News, new release. Ready for this, folks? Fireball. Bizarre footage has emerged as a pink glowing object is suspended in the dark sky hours after a huge fireball fell from space. Wow. I am not one bit surprised because I've actually seen this before, and I recorded video. It was on the Best of Jeff P. And yeah, here it is. Skywatch, this is what you saw, folks. Bizarre footage, pink glowing object just sitting there hours. Mm-hmm. Where have we seen that before? Well, how about the video that I made here? Huh? How about let's watch this? This one here was a piece from Steven Seven's channel from YouTube. Well, that first snapshot. This one from Facebook.
What the fuck is that?
Let me slow this down.
What the fuck? It's so creepy.
And then, sorry about the language, folks, but that's where the sun is, and this thing is emerging over there. That was actually in Los Angeles, not in Europe. That was local, folks. So here we got the red object with asteroids coming from it. Should be surprised there. And again, I even had this on my channel. This was from Sinister Saint channel. Remember this footage? Does that look familiar? Large shadow, fireball coming back from its lit up tail. Yeah. Wow, I'm really taken back by this. That's ever since I captured that. Ever someone showed me that, and I actually found it. It has now been deleted. It doesn't go back to even 2018 anymore, if I believe. And that has been deleted. I will leave links for everything in the description box. I hope you like this video. And if you're any confused about the Sun Simulator, I have links to the Sun Simulator playlist I will leave. And you could click on the playlist. You will find patents, patent numbers, what NASA has done. Oh, and one other thing. I was going to show you kind of a quick drawing because some who may be new to the party here, show them how this is made. I did leave some elements out here, but you would have the Earth here that are rotating, one with the Earth, one with the planet. Then you've got probably other layers of sun as well. You've got the sun simulator. I didn't put the lens in front of it. That's why that halo is dark. The dark circle we see in the sky is the rotating disk. It's a mirror. What you're actually looking at hole is from the lack of light coming from the center of this thing. This thing is reflecting and spinning that diffracted light so we don't see the hole. That's one of the reasons. And I have plenty of proof of that. The emission. Then we got the eclipsing planet. See, we'd also have more lenses out here as well before and in front of the sun simulator, so we just don't see this. So every time this thing comes in, if just go look at the weather. It says mostly sunny, and then you see some planes and strange weather just occurring right in front of the sun, lasting for about 2 hours. You know, I feel like I should open up a weather channel because I could see this thing coming. You see a black spot next to the sun. Here comes the eclipse. Let it pass. That's weather's gonna be cold for a little while. About 2 hours later, clear blue skies. No kidding, folks. That was taken on Saturday. So I'll leave links for everything. Please copy, like, and share, and see you at the Lord's Supper.